Dear Sergeant Kelly, first off, I love my country. Like you, I served my country and gave my oath. I bleed red, white, and blue. But I've had enough of this and where we are heading. It sickens me to think for the first time in my life, does the flag represent a government I can't stand behind? Should I stop flying my flag or maybe fly it upside down? As we are truly a nation in distress. I am truly lost, my brother. Your thoughts? And he says, Semper Fi. There are about 500 different versions of that sitting in my inbox today. Watching the former president of the United States of America be persecuted. I was going to say prosecuted, be persecuted by the communists in this country on charges that are so ridiculous. Even never Trumpers are out there today saying, wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. It is a gut punch to so many people. And people are down and out and angry. And I can't believe this is happening. And I'll tell you this. I've got some really good things to tell you and some really horrible things to tell you. And we're all just going to have to buckle up and stand by. All right? So for you out there feeling like this right now, I want you to understand how blessed you are. If you're feeling right now, oh my gosh, is my government actually evil? Do I live in an evil country? What? It's actually a sign of how blessed you are. And this is what I mean. How many times have I sat here behind the microphone and told you some history story, whether it's long or short, and told you some history story about some horrific condition people have had to live through at various times throughout the history of the world. The common theme throughout history, common theme, is citizens, civilians in a nation being mistreated by the government of that nation. We, Americans, have generally not experienced things like that. Now, hold on, I'm not naive. I know the government has done horrible things to various citizens of various groups in this country for a very long time. But the vast majority of Americans have had some level, I'm talking to myself here, of real pride in this nation. And we've spent our lifetime, I know, look, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I've spent my lifetime looking down at this nation or down at that nation for how they treat their people. Shoot, I was raised like that, and I wasn't even raised politically. In my home, this was Soviet Union time. I remember this as a small kid. My folks would talk openly about how horrible they treat their own people and how their own people were treated horribly and they're oppressed by their own government and how horrible that is. And I remember looking down my nose at them thinking, gosh, you Russians suck. Those poor people over there, that government sucks. I'm glad that can't happen here. America, baby, landeth free. And now that you're starting to see, that we're all starting to see the direction the government is heading in this country, patriotic Americans like you who love this nation and are sitting there maybe right now with your mouth hanging open in horror that Donald Trump was hauled in today, you're asking yourself some hard questions about your country, about your flag. But I want to, before we go into all the details of this, I want you to understand how blessed that really makes you, that you have lived so much of your life in a country you can be so proud of, because so many people throughout the history of the world have never had that in their lives. Imagine being born in the Soviet Union in 1940, dying by the time you're 40 years old, which many of them did. That person was born and died in a country that was despicable, that treated him or her like useless cannon fodder at best. That person doesn't know, never got to know, even for one day, the blessings that you have known in your life, of standing there while they sing the national anthem at a baseball game with your hand over your heart and getting a little misty when they hit that high note and land of the free, and looking up at the sky and thanking God that you're an American citizen. you've gotten to know those days. So whatever days are still to come in this country, and we're going to talk about those days, whatever days are still to come, that you and I have had even one day in a country that makes us misty when we think about it, doesn't that show in a small way how blessed we are? And the fact you're sad that you feel like you're losing it, and me, I'm sad, I feel like I'm losing it, that in and of itself shows you how blessed you have been, how blessed by God we have been to live in the land of the free. Now, let's deal in reality. You asked about the flag, because we're going to start playing Alvin Bragg's stupid comments and talk about where we're going and what the response should be and all these things. In response to the flag, let me ask you something. Did you ever, with your hand over your heart at that baseball game, misty-eyed as they hit land of the free, did you ever get misty thinking about the DA of New York City? Did you tear up thinking about Congress, the president, Republican or Democrat? Is that ever what brought those feelings for you? The feelings of love, of country, of patriotism? America is not the government. It's not the federal government. It's not your state government. It's not New York City's government. America has always been you. America has always been the people. This was the land of the free, not because the founders took up arms, although they did, and I appreciate them for it, but because the people took up arms and fought for it. No, don't take up arms. That's not what I'm saying. But the people are what earned us this nation. And America, being the land of the free, has always been the land of the free because of the people, not the pieces of trash in office. They've always been pieces of trash. Now, they're a lot worse now than they've been before, but America is not the government. My flag is going to keep flying. Why? Because I took my kids to church camp this summer, and when I picked them up, I found out that every morning they would go out and say a prayer and sing hymns to God as that flag was raised up and pray for this nation. And every evening before they went to bed, all those kids, 1,000 of them, would gather around it and say a prayer and sing hymns to God as that flag came down. That's the America I still fly a flag for. Alvin Bragg isn't the United States of America. Alvin Bragg is a piece of trash communist subversive. He's renting here. This country doesn't belong to him. It belongs to you. Fly your flag and don't fly it upside down. Your America, all right?